Hi, Sian. How you going?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. It's nice to meet you here finally. We've been talking a lot this year about the Julia Gillard piece, which you're doing electronics for. So it's great to finally actually meet, sort of, face to face,
No.
2024.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to actually be able to see your face.
We've messaged a lot and talked a lot, but yeah, great, wonderful. Now we have a physical element. So I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the electronics that you did for the Julia Gillard piece. So of course we're talking about Sydney International Women's Jazz Festival run by SEMA in Sydney. That's starting, or I think it started last night or the night before, I think was the opening night, and runs through until the 7th of November next week. And Lilith Night is the project that you're contributing to, and we're playing next Saturday, the 7th of November at 8:30 p.m. Foundry 616 in Ultimo. Of course, all of the info will be below in the description box. So Lilith Night, and we've decided to take Julia Gillard's very famous Misogyny Speech and do something very different to it. Of course, there are a lot of interpretations of speech online already, and they're generally instruments playing the speech. But we've decided to do something different to make that sort of put another layer on top of that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been using the software Ableton to create kind of this electronic soundscape of Julia Gillard's Misogyny Speech. So basically I just exported the speech and then put it through a few different kind of effects and chopped it up and arranged it in a few different ways to try and create this like ambient but also rhythmic soundscape that highlights some specific parts of the speech. So another software I used for it as well is this one called Cecilia, and their tagline is sound bending sonics. I've just kind of used a few different kind of things that I had at my hand to create this electronic piece.
Great, wonderful. And so some of the well, not really conditions, but ideas I think that we spoke about before you went ahead was sort of trying to layer the speech a little bit and use that in a polyphonic way, and to use the words or the rhythm in the speech as sort of a rhythm in the electronics, which I think you've done really well. So
Oh,
we're
thank you.
looking forward to playing with that. Can you tell us a little bit about you? Who is Sian Lindsay for people watching?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Siân Lindsay. I'm a composer, currently studying at the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. I'm in my final year. I'm from the Southern Highlands, but have been living in Sydney for 5 years to study music. And since being at the con, I've kind of developed more of an electronic kind of palette. So in high school and stuff, I did a lot of small chamber pieces. But yeah, I've really just kind of been drawn to it. So I've also in the past couple of years been doing a lot of modular synthesizer stuff. Last year actually it was the start of this year, I did a piece for saxophone and modular synth, and that was performed at the old 505 Theatre with James Nightingale for backstage music, and I was actually playing the synthesizer. So that's been really fun to kind of be able to also maintain a performance element of my musicianship while also composing.
Yeah, I'm quite interested in that, what you just said. So you're studying composition. You're not studying in the electronic department. You're studying in the composition department. Is that right?
Yeah, so when I started the degree, it was just Bachelor of Music majoring in composition. Since then, they've kind of branched it out a bit so you can be a bit more specific. But because I started my degree in 2016, that's what was offered. But yeah, so I've been studying under Ben Carey a lot, and he's he does a lot of electronic stuff. Yeah, he's really great and has kind of he introduced me to modular, and yeah.
Great, wonderful. I know Ben Carey from when I was studying, so it's interesting now. Generations are changing. So, what was I going to say? So, can you tell us a little bit about going into, because you've started now going into the improvisation field with electronics? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So it kind of started with modular synthesizer as well, because when you are using that instrument, um, each time you build a patch, it's going to be different from the last one, even if you try and make it the exact same. So there's always this like element of trying to explore exactly what um, each patch can do, and you kind of get into this rabbit hole, and you just kind of have to improvise on that machine. So yeah, so that's when I wrote the piece for the saxophone and modular synth piece, Synergy. A lot of that, like it was scored, but kind of just like the structure was scored. So a lot of it was me feeding off the saxophonist and vice versa. And yeah, I've just kind of, I really liked that way of working and want to continue doing so. I've done a composition through improvisation course at uni, which I found really interesting. That was with Judy Bailey.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I've just kind of really enjoyed that
yeah.
aspect, working
Um,
that way.
do you think that sort of affected the way you write composition now in general? So have you seen that your composition style has developed a lot, sort of from what you were writing when you first started at Sydney Conservatorium to now?
Yeah, definitely. I think I definitely developed into working in a kind of through composed way. So this semester, I'm working on I've been working on this all year. It's a project. My sister wrote a verse novel that's based off my mum's childhood, and I decided to take that and turn it into kind of like a musical element. And the way I've done that, my sister has recorded herself reading out all the poems, and then I take those recordings and kind of just sit in the studio, um, edit it, add a bit of synthesizer to it, and it's all kind of like I've got a vague structure of how it's going to work out, but it's all kind of through composed. So I guess you can also look at that as being a type of improvisation.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely a really fun way of working, and I
Yeah.
think I'll continue to
I
go
do
down.
a lot of that as well, sort of this collaborative composition I always find quite interesting. I found it quite interesting this year that this whole project sort of came together with people in very different geographical areas. But
Yeah.
in true 2020 style, so how has your last year at the conservatorium been in 2020?
Oh, it's been interesting.
Yeah.
I only had like the first 2 weeks of this year in person, and then it kind of all went online. Some of it was a bit challenging, but I've also found that some aspects of going online have been positive, and I've had to learn how to kind of adapt, and it's been really interesting. So I did a few live stream concerts, kind of in April, May kind of time. And so it was really interesting to have to learn all the kind of technicalities behind what it takes to go live stream and to have like good quality sound. So that was really interesting. Um, and I'm kind of glad I had that experience. But it's also kind of nice to be going back into person now. So this past 2 weeks I've been back in person, which has been really nice as well.
Good to see your classmates before you graduate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's been a very big learning curve, I think, for everybody in 2020, huh? It's definitely in the age of technology. So next time we hope to have you there with us in concert, improvising on
Yeah.
modular synth or your other electronic devices. Yeah, we'll see what happens on the 7th of November. Can you tell us a little bit about other projects that you're involved with or what you have planned for the future?
Yeah, so I have a one of my friends who's also studying at the conservatorium. He's really into noise music, so we've been talking a lot about doing a duo together that is also improvised, where he'd be on electric guitar with effects pedals and other kind of softwares, and I'll be using the modular. So we hope to kind of develop a collaborative relationship and have some live shows, hopefully maybe by the end of the year.
Yeah, great. Wonderful, Sian. So but we might just keep it short today. We look forward to next Saturday, the 7th of November, Foundry 616. Make sure you get your tickets. I think we're almost sold out, but there are still a few double passes left. Of course, with COVID safe measures, people have to buy double passes at the moment. But I think there are probably about 15 tickets left. So if you'd like some of those, click on the link below and that will take you straight to online booking. A lot of different, we've got a very diverse range of women, which I think is great, from a lot of different countries and Australia as well, a lot from Sydney, but we've got music from Germany and Iceland, Greece, Canada, Chicago, the UK, Keena Wilkins, Jenna Cave, Harry Harding, they're all local names, plus yourself. Siân Lindsay and Sonia Hollowell, I think also plays with Ben Carey. Have a nice Sunday. Thanks for talking to us. And I'll see you later.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye.